The knock on my apartment door came at 9 a.m. on a Sunday, loud and insistent. Sam was in my kitchen making pancakes, wearing one of my oversized t-shirts, her hair still messy from sleep. We'd been officially together for 2 months and she'd spent the night for the first time. We were happy, deeply happy, in that honeymoon phase where everything felt golden and possible. Then I opened the door and found my mother, my father, and my younger sister Sophia standing in the hallway, and our perfect morning shattered into 1,000 pieces. If you haven't watched parts 1 and 2 yet, go back now because this is where everything comes together. For those of you who've been following Maya and Sam's journey, thank you for sticking with us. This is the final chapter, and it's going to be intense. Mia, my mother said, pushing past me into the apartment. We need to talk about this divorce and your so-called new life. You've been avoiding us for weeks and we're not ... double quotes. She stopped mid-sentence when she saw Sam in the kitchen, clearly comfortable in my space, clearly just waking up. My mother's face went through several emotions at once: shock, understanding, disgust, and finally cold fury. Who is this? She demanded in Spanish, though she knew exactly who this was. She'd seen Sam's name mentioned in passing, knew I'd been spending time with someone. Mom. Dad, Sophia. This is Samantha. Sam, this is my family. I tried to keep my voice steady, but my hands were shaking. This was not how I wanted them to meet. This was not how I wanted any of this to happen. Sam, to her credit, set down the spatula and walked over with her hand extended. It's nice to meet you all. Maya's told me so much about you. My mother ignored her hand. You're the personal trainer. The one who turned my daughter into this. Mama, don't, I said sharply. Sam didn't turn me into anything. She helped me realize who I've always been. My father hadn't said a word, just stood there looking between Sam and me with an expression I couldn't read. Sophia looked uncomfortable, caught between family loyalty and her own more progressive views. We need to talk, my mother said. Alone. This person needs to leave. Her name is Sam, and she's my girlfriend. She's not leaving. This is my apartment. The word girlfriend hung in the air like a grenade. I told my family I was questioning my sexuality, that the divorce was partly about figuring myself out, but I'd been vague about Sam's role in my life. Now there was no hiding it. Your girlfriend, my father repeated, his voice flat. Maya, you were married for 8 years to a good man. I was married for 8 years to a man I didn't love the way I should have. To a man I stayed with because it was expected, because it was safe, because I didn't know there was another option. And now you throw away your marriage, your reputation, everything we taught you for this? My mother gestured at Sam like she was nothing. Please don't talk about her like that. My voice was getting louder, anger mixing with fear. Sam is the kindest, most genuine person I've ever met. She makes me happy in a way I've never been happy before. She helped me find the courage to be honest about who I am, who you are. My mother's laugh was bitter. You're confused, Mia. This is a phase, maybe a reaction to stress at work or problems in your marriage. But this isn't who you really are. You're not one of those people. Sam spoke up for the first time since the introduction, her voice calm but firm. You mean queer people? LGBTQ people? People like me who've been out since I was 23? Or people like your daughter who took longer to understand themselves? I wasn't talking to you, my mother snapped. But you're talking about me. And about Maya. And I think we both deserve some respect in her own home. Sam looked at me. Do you want me to go? I will if that makes this easier for you. No, stay. Please. I took her hand, a gesture that made mother flinch. Mom, Dad, Sophia, I need you to listen to me. Really listen. I didn't choose to be gay. I didn't wake up one day and decide to make my life harder or to hurt you or to throw away my marriage on a whim. I've been struggling with this my entire life without even having the language to understand what I was feeling. I led them to the living room, everyone sitting in tense silence. Sam stayed close to me, her presence giving me strength. Do you remember when I was in high school and I was so obsessed with my best friend Rachel? I asked my mother. How you joked that I cared more about her than any of the boys I dated. It wasn't a joke. I had feelings for her that I didn't understand, feelings I buried because I didn't have any framework for understanding them. Do you remember how I cried for weeks when she got a boyfriend? That wasn't normal friendship jealousy, Mama. My mother looked uncomfortable but didn't interrupt. And in college, when I dated Daniel, do you remember how relieved you were that I'd finally found someone serious? I was relieved too, because it felt like proof that I was normal, that whatever weird feelings I'd had before were just confusion. But the truth is, I never felt for Daniel what I was supposed to feel. I loved him, but not the way a wife should love a husband. I thought that was just how it was supposed to be. That passionate love was a myth, and marriage was about partnership and comfort. Many marriages are about partnership, my father said quietly. That's not unusual, but it shouldn't be devoid of passion. It shouldn't feel like you're going through the motions. Dad, when you look at Mom, do you feel nothing? When she touches you, is it just routine? He looked at my mother, and something passed between them. No, Mia, even after 35 years, when your mother walks into a room, I still feel it. I never felt that with Daniel. Not once in 8 years. And I thought that meant something was wrong with me, that I was broken somehow. But then I met Sam, and I felt everything I'd been told I was supposed to feel. The butterflies, the electricity, the way time stops when she looks at me. That's when I realized I wasn't broken. I'd just been loving the wrong gender my entire life. Sophia spoke up for the first time. Maya, I believe you. And I'm trying to be supportive, I really am. But you have to understand this is a shock for Mom and Dad. In their world, in our culture, this isn't something that happens. You were supposed to give them grandchildren, continue the family legacy. This is a lot to process. I know it is. And I'm not asking them to understand everything right away. But I am asking them not to disrespect Sam, not to act like what we have is dirty or shameful or less than their relationship. It's unnatural, my mother said, her voice breaking. The Bible says ... The Bible says a lot of things you choose to ignore when it's convenient. Mama, it says not to judge others, to love thy neighbor, to show compassion. Where's your compassion for your own daughter? My compassion is why I'm here. To save you from making a terrible mistake that will ruin your life. My life was already ruined, I said, surprising myself with the vehemence in my voice. I was miserable in my marriage. I cried myself to sleep more nights than I can count. I felt like I was suffocating under the weight of expectations. And I thought that was just adult life, that everyone felt that way, but I was wrong. Life doesn't have to feel like that. I squeezed Sam's hand. These last 2 months with Sam have been the happiest of my life. I wake up excited for the day. I laugh more. I feel more. I'm more myself than I've ever been. How can that be a mistake? How can being happy and authentic be the wrong choice? My mother was crying now, mascara running down her cheeks. Because it's not the life I wanted for you. It's not the life I dreamed about when I held you as a baby. I wanted you to have a husband and children and a normal life. But that's your dream, not mine. And I can't keep living your dream, Mama. It's killing me. My father, who'd been mostly silent, finally spoke. Maya, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest. Are you doing this because you're truly in love with this woman? Or are you doing this to rebel? To make some kind of statement? I looked at Sam, at her beautiful face and her kind eyes, and the way she was sitting here with quiet dignity despite being insulted in her girlfriend apartment. I'm doing this because I'm completely, desperately in love with her. Because when I'm with her, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Because she makes me want to be braver and better. Because I've spent 32 years living for other people's expectations, and I'm choosing for the first time in my life to live for myself. And what happens when this ends? My mother asked, when you realize you've thrown away your marriage and your family for a relationship that doesn't last? Lesbian relationships have even higher breakup rates than straight ones. Actually, that's not accurate, Sam said quietly. But even if it were, every relationship risks ending. That doesn't mean they're not worth pursuing. And with respect, Mrs. Rodriguez, straight marriages end all the time. Maya's marriage ended, and it was to a man. The gender of her partner isn't what determines whether a relationship succeeds. You don't get to lecture me about relationships, my mother snapped. You barely know my daughter. You've been together, 2 months? That's nothing. That's infatuation, not love. You're right, we've only been officially together for 2 months, Sam said. But I've known Maya for almost 6 months total. I've seen her at her most vulnerable, watched her go through the hardest period of her life, seen her do the painful work of understanding herself. And I've loved her through all of it. Maybe it's fast by some standards, but when you know, you know. When you know, my mother repeated mockingly. That's what every person having an affair says to justify destroying a marriage. I didn't have an affair, I said firmly. Sam and I didn't get together until after I'd already decided to divorce Daniel. Until after I'd already started therapy and begun questioning my sexuality. She didn't destroy my marriage. My marriage was already broken. I just didn't want to admit it. Sophia stood up suddenly. Okay, I think we all need to take a breath. This is getting heated, and nobody's listening to anyone else. Maya, Mom, Dad, can we maybe have some coffee and talk about this more calmly? Sam stood too. Actually, I think maybe I should go. Give you all some privacy to talk as a family. No, I said, standing with her. You're not leaving. Not because my family showed up unannounced and made you uncomfortable in my home. Maya, it's okay. They need to talk to you, and they might be more honest if I'm not here. I'll go get breakfast somewhere and come back in an hour or two. Are you sure? She kissed my forehead, a gesture of affection that made my mother gasp. I'm sure. You need this time with them. But text me if you need me to come back sooner, okay? After Sam left, the apartment felt emptier, colder. We all stood in awkward silence until Sophia suggested we sit down and actually talk. Okay, I said, sitting on the couch with my arms crossed defensively. Talk. My mother spoke first, her voice tired now instead of angry. Maya, I'm trying to understand. But you have to see this from our perspective. We thought you were happy. We thought your life was on track. And then suddenly you're divorced and gay and with this woman we've never met. It feels like we don't know you anymore. You don't know me, Mama. You know the version of me I presented. Because it was what you wanted to see. The real me has been hidden my entire life. Why? My father asked. Why hide from us? We're your family. Because of reactions like this. Because I knew you wouldn't accept me. Because our culture, our faith, everything I was raised in told me that who I really am is wrong and sinful and shameful. We would have loved you anyway, my mother protested. Would you have? If I'd come to you at 16 and said I think I like girls, would you have embraced that? Or would you have sent me to a priest, told me I was confused, maybe even tried to send me to one of those conversion therapy places? The silence was damning. We all knew the answer. Sophia reached over and took my hand. I'm sorry, Maya. I'm sorry you felt like you couldn't be honest with us. And I'm sorry we created an environment where you felt like you had to hide. That's on us, not you. Thank you, I whispered, tears starting to fall. I don't know if I can accept this, my mother said finally. I don't know if I can watch you live this life and pretend everything is fine. I'm not asking you to pretend. I'm asking you to see me. Really see me. Not the daughter you wanted me to be, but the daughter I actually am. And if you can't do that, if you can't love me as I am, then I guess we need to figure out what kind of relationship we can have going forward. My father put his hand on my mother's shoulder. Catalina, she's our daughter. Our eldest child. Are we really going to lose her over this? She's the one choosing to leave, not us, my mother said stubbornly. No, Mama. I'm choosing to live authentically. You're the one deciding whether you can love me anyway. We talked for another hour, circling around the same points. My mother couldn't understand. My father was trying to. And Sophia was doing her best to mediate. Finally, exhausted, I said I needed them to leave, to go process this and figure out how they wanted to move forward. Are you coming to Sunday dinner next week? My mother asked at the door, a test. Is Sam invited? I don't know if I'm ready for that. Then I guess I'm not ready to come to Sunday dinner. When you can welcome both of us, let me know. After they left, I texted Sam. They're gone. Please come back. I need you. She was there in 15 minutes, pulling me into her arms while I cried out all the stress and fear and sadness of the confrontation. I'm sorry that happened, she said, stroking my hair. I'm sorry my being here made it worse. You didn't make it worse. You made it bearable. I don't know how I would have gotten through that without you. What do you need right now? Just you. Just this. We spent the rest of the day on the couch, watching movies and talking and existing in our own bubble. Sam didn't push me to process everything that happened. Didn't demand answers about what it meant for us. She just held me and let me feel whatever I needed to feel. That night, as we were getting ready for bed, my phone rang. It was Sophia. Hey, she said. I know today was a lot. I just wanted to check on you. I'm okay. Sam's here. Good. Maya, I need you to know something. I don't care that you're gay. I don't care that you're with a woman. I care that you're happy, and from what I saw today, Sam makes you happy. You lit up when you looked at her, even in the middle of all that chaos. I've never seen you look at Daniel that way. Thank you, Sophia. That means everything. Mom and Dad will come around. It's going to take time, and they're going to be difficult about it. But they love you. They'll figure it out. And if they don't, then you'll still have me. And Sam. And whatever family you build for yourself, but I really think they will. Just give them time. Over the next few months, my family slowly, painfully, started to come around. My mother couldn't quite look at Sam and me when we showed affection, but she stopped actively objecting to our relationship. My father made an effort, asking Sam about her work, trying to get to know her. Sophia became one of our biggest supporters, coming to dinner at our place and treating Sam like family. It wasn't perfect. There were still awkward moments, still comments that cut, still times when I felt like I was fighting for acceptance. But it was progress. 6 months into our relationship, Sam and I were lying in bed on a Sunday morning, that golden time when the world feels soft and full of possibility. I love you, I said, not for the first time, but always meaning it more deeply than the time before. I love you too. So much. Sam propped herself up on one elbow, looking at me with that expression that still made my heart skip. Maya, I want to talk to you about something. That sounds serious. It's not bad serious. It's good serious. I've been thinking, and I know it's probably too soon, but my lease is up next month and I spend most of my nights here anyway. And I was wondering if maybe you'd want to move in together, officially. My first instinct was panic. It was too fast. We'd only been together 6 months. What if it didn't work out? But then I looked at Sam, at this woman who'd seen me at my worst, and loved me anyway, who'd been patient through my messy divorce and complicated coming out, who made every day brighter just by existing in it. Yes, I said. Absolutely yes. Really? You don't need time to think about it. I spent 3 months thinking about whether I should take a chance on you. I spent years thinking about whether I should stay in a marriage that made me miserable. I'm done overthinking things. I know what I want, and what I want is a life with you. Sam kissed me, and it tasted like coffee and promise and home. Moving in together wasn't without challenges. We had to figure out whose furniture to keep, how to merge our very different decorating styles, how to navigate living together instead of just dating. We had our first real fight over dishes in the sink. We had to learn each other's rhythms and quirks and annoying habits, but we also got to wake up together every morning. We got to cook dinner side by side and fall asleep tangled together every night. We built a life that was ours, full of inside jokes and shared dreams, and the kind of comfortable intimacy that comes from really knowing someone. My career stabilized. Some clients never came back, but others respected my authenticity. I made new connections in the LGBTQ professional community. The firm, seeing that I wasn't going to fall apart or become a liability, continued to trust me with important cases. Sam's business grew too. Her approach to personal training, focusing on strength and empowerment rather than just weight loss, attracted more clients. She was building something she was proud of. 1 year after we officially got together, Sam planned a surprise date. She took me back to the lakefront where we'd had our first official date, to that same bench where we'd kissed under the stars. Maya Rodriguez, she said, taking my hands in hers. A year ago you showed up at my door with divorce papers and a journal and the bravest declaration of love I've ever heard. You turned my world upside down in the best possible way. Every day with you is better than the last. Every day I fall more in love with you. And I know we said we'd take things slow, but I don't want to waste any more time. I want to build a future with you. I want it all with you. She pulled out a ring, simple and beautiful. Will you marry me? I was crying and laughing at the same time. Yes, God, yes. Of course, yes. She slipped the ring on my finger, and we kissed while people on the lakefront path cheered for us. We were just two women in love, and for the first time I didn't care who saw us or what they thought. I was exactly where I was supposed to be, with exactly who I was supposed to be with. My mother cried when I told her about the engagement. Not tears of joy, not yet, but not tears of anger either. Tears of acceptance, maybe, or resignation, or the beginning of understanding that her daughter's happiness looked different than she imagined, but was no less real. Are you happy, Mia? She asked me. Happier than I've ever been, Mama. Then I suppose that's what matters. It wasn't a ringing endorsement, but it was something. It was a start. Looking back now, I can see how every moment led here. The dissatisfaction in my marriage, the courage to hire a personal trainer, that first electric touch during a stretch, the painful journey of self-discovery, the divorce, the coming out, the family confrontation, all of it brought me to this moment. To a life I love with a woman I adore, to authenticity and freedom and joy. Was it hard? Absolutely. Did I lose things along the way? Yes. My marriage, some relationships, my mother's easy approval, the comfortable life I'd built, but I gained so much more. I gained myself. I gained love that feels real and deep and right. I gained the freedom to be who I actually am instead of who I thought I should be. If you're struggling with your identity, if you're in a relationship that doesn't feel right, but you're scared to leave, if you're hiding who you are because you're afraid of the consequences, I want you to know that it's worth it. The journey is hard, but the destination is freedom. And you deserve to be free. You deserve to be loved for who you actually are, not who you're pretending to be. It's never too late to start living authentically. It's never too late to choose yourself. If this story resonated with you, if you've been on a similar journey or you're at the beginning of yours, share in the comments below. Your story matters. Your truth matters. And you are not alone. Subscribe to this channel for more real stories about love, identity, and the courage it takes to live authentically. Thank you for being here with Sam and me through this entire journey. I hope our story gave you hope that happy endings are possible, even when the path there is messy and painful. Because they are. I'm living proof.